Welcome to part 2 of my reaction to Taylor Swift's The Life of a Showgirl. If you missed part 1, the link to part 1 is in the description. I've been having a good time with this album so far, and I'm looking forward to getting into the second half. If you don't know me, my name is Ohak Cade. I'm the composer for the symphonic metal project Falcata. We recently put out a new song called Overload the Reactor. The link is down below. I'd love to hear what you think. I'm also on Patreon if you fancy your own reaction requests, early access and polls. And let's get right into this next song. This is Ruin the Friendship.
Glistening grass from September rain, gray overpass full of neon names. You drive 85 Gallatin Road and the lakeside beach, watching the game from your brother's Jeep. Your smile miles wide, and it was not an invitation. Should've kissed you anyway. Should've kissed you anyway.
Very romantic album.
And it was not convenient, no, but your girlfriend was away. Should've kissed you anyway. Shiny wood floors underneath my feet. Disco ball makes everything look cheap. Have fun. It's prom.
Okay, honestly, I'm not loving this one. I find I'm repeating myself a little bit from part 1, where I'm starting to say that every song is a cute little bop, and that was okay for the first several songs. I didn't really mind that, but I'm starting to lose the connection to the music at this point. The album is starting to feel a little bit repetitive. There were some interesting teasers in the earlier songs towards that showgirl-esque sound, with cinematic strings and harps, a more theatrical, dramatic atmosphere. But this is pretty much typical Taylor fare. A light, spring, summery, breezy little number that is, rather harmless, but also just not as fascinating as I want it to be. Once again, there could be some interest in the lyrics, but musically, I'm not grabbed by this one just yet.
Wilted corsage dangles from my wrist. Over his shoulder, catch a glimpse and see you looking at me.
I do like that melismatic descent in the verse.
But as the 50-cent song plays, should've kissed you anyway. And it was not convenient.
I also have to say, I think the chorus of this song is pretty weak. Like, I thought it was the pre-chorus, but it's actually the chorus. I actually thought I was listening to the pre-chorus again just now.
Lately we've been good. Seeing friends is safe doesn't mean you should. Don't make it awkward in second period. Might piss your ex off. Lately we've been good. Seeing friends is safe doesn't mean you should. When I left school, I lost track of you. Abigail called me with the bad news. Goodbye. And we'll never know why.
That little melody, that descent in the melody is the cutest, most interesting part of the song. And how the acoustic guitars are coming back in here slowly is rather nice too. Her vocal performance on this one isn't as passionate as what we've had in some of the other tracks. Well, this part is alright. Probably my least favorite song so far. Sorry to start part 2. Lono. I gotta hand it to her. I kind of like the story behind these lyrics. I think it's about not pursuing a guy that she was interested in. And later down the line, she's attending his funeral and she's saying to herself, I should have kissed you, even though it would have ruined my friendship at the time. Controversial sentiment, but you know, we're all human and we think about things in the wrong way sometimes. So I do find this little story interesting. Even though I don't think it's autobiographical, still cool to get into a little bit of fiction. According to the annotations, this actually may be about a real boy or girl, but presumably a boy who did pass away when she was a kid. Okay, wow. It's just such a dramatic story that it kind of sounds like a Hollywood movie, but I guess it's real. And that is rather sad, I gotta say. So while musically this song honestly did nothing for me, I do find the lyrics to be powerful. Let's move on to the next song. Hey, due to some confusion about the track order, I actually reacted to Actually Romantic in part 1 of this reaction. So if you'd like to see my opinion on that song, the link to part 1 is down below. Okay, let's move straight into Wishlist.
That yacht life under chopper blades. They want those bright lights and Balenci shades and a fat ass with a baby face. They want it all. They want that complex female character. They
got that predictable chord progression coming in again now.
And an Oscar
it's like the 1, 6, 4, 5 progression. She loves that one.
They should have what they want. They deserve what they want. Hope they get what they want. I just want you. Have a couple kids, got the whole block looking like you. We tell the world to leave us the fuck alone, and they do.
Okay, so when I talk about the 1, 6, 4, 5 progression, what I'm talking about is the 1 is the first note on the scale, the 6 is the 6th note on the scale, and you can build chords around those notes. So when she writes her chord progressions, she really likes going to the 1, 6, 4, 5, and it creates this appealing, very non-threatening, somewhat emotional, but also somewhat uplifting, not too dark, just sentimental enough to be sweet, but not so heart-wrenching that it puts you off the song. So that's where a lot of my least favorite music from her sits, is this, you know, nothingness, this giving nothing, giving me nothing, if that makes sense, is what I'm getting from this song. Just this bland, boring, forgettable, plain music. Really didn't want to hear this kind of stuff on this album. I felt the album started way stronger than where it's going. Let's see how this song progresses.
That freedom, living off the grid.
I thought we were actually going into something there.
That they call their kids, and that good
she teased me a bit with that interesting sort of quick-fire rap moment.
They want a contract with Real Madrid. They want that spring
change.
Okay. And then that video taken off the internet. They want it all, and they should have what they want.
That is a little interesting. I do like that.
They get what they want.
An unexpected key change in the second verse. Let's have more of that. I'm down. I immediately get interested when I hear something that I don't expect. You know. You gotta have some surprise in your entertainment, otherwise what's the point?
I made wishes on all of the stars. Please, God, bring me a best friend who I think is hot. I thought I had it right once, twice, but I did not. You caught me off my guard. I hope I get what I want.
interesting bridge, I guess.
I just want you, baby. Have a couple kids, got the whole block looking like. Gotta make it right.
Love these ad-libs from her. I wish we got vocals like this from her on a better song. I guess this song is somewhat unique in that the chorus is all delivered sort of falsetto style. I'm just looking for more of a bite, emotionally or otherwise. Sonically, you know, can we get a heavier beat or something even? Just to lend a little bit more impact. Super impressive vocal technique and range though. Really liked her ad-libs at the end. Vocally, she is giving, okay? On this album, I'm quite impressed. She's exceeding my expectations, at least in that sense. So far, I am enjoying the album for the most part, but towards the second half, we're getting into territory that I didn't want to go, which is, as I said, the more boring stuff. I'm here for the glitter pen, need more glitter, and the first half was giving more of that. Now we're going more into the dreary drags of it all. Let's see what the lyrics are about. My mouth is open reading these lyrics. I actually want to cry. Oh my god. So, I don't know. It's like, is anyone else just getting trad wife from these lyrics? The verses are talking about how everyone else wants these material things. They want shades. They want the bright lights. They want that complex female character. Somewhat shady and anti-feministic. And yeah, there is the pre-chorus that says, and they should have what they want. They deserve what they want. Hope they get what they want. But honestly, the impression I get is that that's put there for some plausible deniability. And the chorus is like, I just want you, have a couple kids, got the whole block looking like you. Like, she's so obsessed with her man. I don't know, it's just kind of lame. Like, being in love isn't lame, but the way that she's conveying her love for her man in this song is super lame to me. Why don't you just tell him you love him? Why do you have to bring in all this extra stuff like you did in the previous song? What was it? Elder Daughter, to make a point that like he's better than all this, than everything else going on in the world. It's just weird. I don't like that sentiment, to be honest. It made my mouth drop, and it actually made me want to cry that we are getting lyrics like this from such a powerful woman, a leading example. Maybe I'm putting words in her mouth. Maybe I'm not being charitable enough looking over these lyrics, but these lyrics are just so lame. You don't need to be passive aggressive about what other people want in life to make yourself feel better about what you're pursuing. And it's just so funny, like she is literally the most successful female musician of our time, writing lyrics like this. Like, please, come on. I'm sorry, but this is silliness. Got me dreaming about a driveway and a basketball hoop? Like, are you for real? Is this actually serious? I don't know. All right, moving on to Wood. Let's see how this is. This is what I'm talking about. This is I Want You Back. But not quite. It's like, again, like an interpolation of it.
I took him back and then stepped on a crack, and the black cat laughed. And baby, I'll admit I've been a little superstitious. Fingers crossed until you put your hand on mine. Seems to be that you and me, we make our own luck. A bad sign is all good. I ain't gotta knock on wood. Only that bitch who is sitting on a falling star never did me any good. I ain't got to knock on wood. It's you and me forever dancing in the dark. All over me,
I like it.
it's understood. I ain't got to knock on wood. Forgive me, it sounds cocky. Ties me and open my eyes. Redwood tree, it ain't hard to see his love.
Unexpected sound. So I'm here for this. It's got that funk, soul, Motown approach, obviously, clear Jackson 5 influence. I don't know if it's actually an interpolation or just an obvious nod to that song, because it's not quite the same song, just slightly altered. Vocal melody and lyrics are obviously completely different, but I love her vocals on it. I love the more natural feeling of the drums and percussion. It's just something different, right? So I appreciate that, and I hope that this song isn't a once-off, that the album continues in this trajectory.
Was the key that opened my thighs. Girls, I don't need to catch the bouquet to know a hard rock is on the way. And baby, I'll admit I've been a little superstitious. The curse on me was broken by your magic wand. Seems to me that you and me, we make our own luck. New high manhood, I gotta knock on wood. All of that bitch wishing on a falling star never did me any good. I ain't got to knock on wood. It's you and me
It's got a sort of early 2000s R&B flair too.
over me. It's understood. I ain't got to knock on wood. Forgive me, it sounds cocky.
So interesting mix of musical influences in this song. Certainly a standout.
I'm
so relieved to say. It's so short.
It sounds cocky. Hypnotize me and open my eyes. Redwood tree, it ain't hard to see. His love was the key that opened my thighs.
And that lyric is fiercely dodgy as well. You know, she's our cringy girl, and she's not afraid to be cringe. Just another uncomfortable moment there from her lyrics, but we love that. It's part of her charm. One of the better songs on the album, criminally short. It may be even the shortest song. So, you know, weirdly enough, even though that song had a lot of complexity and room for development and some cool spirit, some cool influences, in my opinion, didn't realize its full potential, but like, I don't want to complain too much. It's always a compliment when I want more of what I was just given. But 2 minutes 30 seconds is taking the mickey a little bit. Again, it's a song that is really kind of just simping all over her new love. And that's fine, but there's this sort of weird smarminess and smugness to her celebrating this new love, not only in this song, but in a few of the other songs, where she's like laughing at the idea of being cynical about boys, or having her guard up about boys in the past because this particular boy is so good to her. Like lyrics like, all of that bitching, wishing on a falling star never did me any good. Girls, I don't need to catch the bouquet to know a hard rock is on the way. Well, whoop-de-doo. The sentiment, the underlying subtext of a lot of these lines is really gross. I know that's a weird thing to say about someone who's happy about getting married. That's fine, but why don't you just openly say it sincerely in a wholesome way, rather than these underhanded jabs at like the way you used to think when you were like with other boys, or underhanded jabs at the media or anything else. Like, just keep it simple, because I don't know, it's just an odd vibe I get from these lyrics. Let's move on to Cancelled. Let's see how this goes.
You thought that it would be okay at first. The situation could be saved, of course, but they'd already picked out your grave and hers. Beware the wrath of masked crusaders. Did your girl boss too close to the sun? Did they catch you having far too much fun? Come with me, when they see us they'll run. Something wicked this way comes. Good thing I like my friends canceled. I like 'em cooked in Gucci and in scandal. Like my whiskey sour and poison thorny flowers. Welcome to my underworld where it gets quite dark. At least you know exactly who your friends are. They're the ones with matching scars. It's easy to love you
The sound of this one does intrigue me. The lyrics I find a bit confusing. I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt with them. We'll look at them after the song is over. I'm not going to get too hung up on them right now, but I actually think this song is unusual. I'm interested to see what it's getting at musically, how it's going to develop. It seems like it's one of the longer songs on the album. One of the catchier ones in a while. Let's keep it going.
It's easy to love you when you're popular. The optics click, everyone prospers. But one single drop, you're off the roster. Tone deaf and hot, let's fucking off her. Did you make a joke only a man could?
Hear that again.
Hot, let's fucking off her. Did you make a joke only a man could? Were you just too smug for your own good?
It's weird because I do find the lyrics cringy, but musically that part was pretty awesome. I liked the harmonies, the different layers, the vocal stacking. Like, she's got some really good musical moments. Just the lyrics are questionable.
Did you make a joke only a man could? Were you just too smug for your own good? Or bring a tiny violin to a knife fight? Baby, that all ends tonight. Good thing I like my friends cancel. I like 'em cooked in Gucci and in scandal. Like my whiskey sour and poison thorny flowers. Welcome to my underworld. It'll break your heart. At least you know exactly who your friends are.
We're getting
The ones with
once again that sort of cinematic showgirl vibe. The chorus is very catchy. Really interested in what the lyrics are getting at. I like my friends cancelled. I like them in Gucci and dressed in scandal. So is that to say that she welcomes the controversy? I do enjoy this song musically though, so let's keep it going.
exactly who your friends
I like the strings coming in.
We're the ones with matching scars. They stood by me before my exoneration. They believed I was innocent, so I'm not here for judgment. No.
My cat's got the zoomies.
But if you can't be good, then just be better at it. Everyone's got bodies in the attic, or took somebody's man. We'll take you by the hand, and soon you'll learn the art of never getting caught. It's a good thing I like my friends cancel. You know that I ain't come close.
These lyrics worry me a bit, but musically the song is pretty good. So I'm torn. It's just really hard to use the word cancelled in a song and make it sound good. I'd love for the lyrics to be different in this song because the melody is pretty damn good. Beautiful,
We're the ones with matching scars.
beautiful harmonies at the end there too. Wonderful vocals. One of my favorite songs on the album musically. Worried about these lyrics. Let's see what the lyrics are actually about. Yeah, so pretty much this song, kind of whatever way you slice it, is kind of anti-cancel culture. Just from my personal perspective, I've never really seen anyone get genuinely cancelled for a reason that wasn't a pretty good one. And out of all the topics to tackle, this just seems like a really odd one for her to do. Like, was she ever in danger of being cancelled? Or were any of her friends involved in any scandals that were that serious that she needs to write a whole song about it and act like she's some kind of edgy, dark princess of the underworld? Like, this is so lacking in credibility. for me. I just cannot swallow it. I really just don't know what her problem is. Let me try to be generous just this once, because I feel like I've really gone off on this album now. Like, it started so positively, and I was down with the simple messaging of the lyrics, the simple approach to the music. I thought we were just down for like a decent pop album, but we've taken some really uncomfortable twists and turns here that are really throwing me for a loop. How can I reconcile the message that she's putting out here with her level of success? How unbothered she really is comparatively, you know, in her life and her achievements. To come out with a song that is condemning cancel culture, and sure, it can get out of hand sometimes. People can get targeted online over something that maybe the public does not have the entire picture of. But why does Taylor Swift, of all people, feel the need to make a point of writing a whole song about it? I cannot fathom that for the life of me. And it's also the fact that she says she likes her friends cancelled. So she likes to keep the company of people who have done something to warrant being cancelled. And when I think of someone who is actually cancelled, they've done some horrendous things that like a simple apology is not going to fix. So why would you want to die on this hill? I have no idea. Okay, moving on to Honey.
You can call me honey if you want, because I'm the one you want. When anyone called me sweetheart, it was passive aggressive at the bar, and the bitch was
that previous song put me in such a bad mood. I'm trying to recenter myself and be here for this new song and give it a chance.
Back off, 'cause a minute looked at me wrong. If anyone called me honey, it was standing in the bathroom. White teeth, they were saying that skirt don't fit me, and I cried the whole way home. But you touched my face, redefine all of those blues when you say honey. Summertime spreads, pink skies. You can call me honey if you want, because I'm the one you want. Winter green kiss.
I like this song.
Give it different meaning, 'cause you mean it when you tell me I'm home. We could play house, we could bed down.
Getting old school, almost like
What's the plan? What's the plan?
Nelly
You could be my
vibes.
forever,
Again,
not
sort of
forever,
early
honey.
2000s
Anyone called me
pop/R&B. It's nice. Sorry, I got briefly interrupted there. Let's keep it going.
Honey, when anyone called me sweetheart, it was passive aggressive at the bar, and the bitch was telling me to back off, 'cause a minute looked at me wrong. If anyone called me honey, it was standing in the bathroom. White teeth, they were saying
There's more anti-female sentiment there, a little hint of it. It's unfortunate how the lyrics are really spoiling what are otherwise really decent tunes. So once again, I'm worried to look at the lyrics for this song. But otherwise, like, I like it quite a bit. I wouldn't seek it out, but I'd say it's one of the more danceable, I suppose, songs on the album. Not too bad, not too shabby. She sounds good. That's about all I have to say so far anyway. Let's keep it going. This little break is quite nice. Like a jazz flute.
It's yours, kicking indoors, stick it to the floor, give me more by the paint in the color of your eye, and graffiti my whole damn life, honey. When anyone called me late night, he was screwing around with my mind, asking what are you wearing, too high to remember in the morning. And when anyone called me lovely, they were finding ways not to praise me, but you say it like you're in awe of me.
Falling asleep again now, it's like...
Honey, when anyone called me sweetheart, it was
The song could build to something bigger, but instead it breaks down to a crawl and then back to the regular pace, you know.
If you want.
Not the worst song on the album. At least not yet. We still gotta look at the lyrics. Shockingly, yet again, this is another example of a song that is tying her appreciation of her man to some negative thoughts she has about others. There's a line, "If anyone called me honey, it was standing in the bathroom, white teeth. They were saying that skirt don't fit me, and I cried the whole way home." So the last time someone called her honey, it was, I guess, another girl in the bathroom who didn't like her skirt. But the way her husband or fiance calls her honey is different. It's much more affectionate. It's so silly and absurd. That's the meaning of the song. You know, what is going on? Guys, I'm sorry, but this album fell off hard. It really did. It started off so well, but at this point, I'm 100% understanding the negative reaction to it. And I really did want to give it a chance. I really did. But we got one song left, okay? And let's see how that goes. We have Sabrina Carpenter on this one, who I have a soft spot for. Title track. One of the longest songs on the album, if not the longest. Can't really see right now, but definitely on the longest side.
Her name was Kitty, made her money being pretty and witty. They gave her the keys to this city.
This is not off to a good start.
Said she didn't do it legitly. I bought a ticket. She's dancing in her garters and fishnets. 50 in the cast, 0 missteps. Looking back, I guess it was kismet. I waited by the stage door, packed in with the autograph hounds, barking her name, then glowing like the end of a cigarette. Wow, she came out. I said, "You live in my dream." Then she said to me, "Hey, thank you for the lovely bouquet. You're sweeter than a peach, but you don't know the life of a showgirl, babe. And you're never ever gonna wait. The more you play, the more that you pay. You're softer than a kitten, so you don't know the life of a showgirl, babe. And you're never gonna wanna."
Okay, so we are back in that rather boring, bland, acoustic, slow ballad sort of dragging thing that was prevalent on the Torture Poets, but at least this song sounds a little bit more alive. It's a little bit catchier. There's more of an identifiable hook in the chorus, so I do appreciate that. Do I enjoy this song? No, but I will say, at least, nothing really on this album, musically at least, was as bad as Torture Poets, and I do stand behind the fact that this album, musically, is a step up from Torture Poets. Lyrically, that's a whole other story, but let's see how Sabrina sounds on this track.
She was a menace, the baby of the family in Lennox. Her father whored around like all men did. Her mother took pills and played tennis. So she waited by the stage door, asked the club promoter arrive. She said, "I'd sell my soul to have a taste of a magnificent life. It's all mine." But that's not what showgirls get. They leave us for dead. Hey, thank you for the lovely bouquet. You're sweeter than a peach, but you don't know.
Sabrina sounds excellent. The song suits her a lot. She really thrives in this sort of cheeky delivery that she does. They both sound great. I don't really have a problem with Taylor's vocal performance on this album at all. I actually think it's rather outstanding. Largely, my problems with this album are, I'd say that my number one problem is the lyrics, and my number two problem is just it's not really bringing in the glitter pen. Yeah, that's the best way I can sum it up.
Do you wanna take take a skate on the ice inside my veins. They ripped me off like false lashes and then threw me away. And all the
There are little fun moments like this, you know, like how this bridge is put together. Like, are we building to something good here? It's like,
I couldn't if I tried. So I say, thank you for the lovely bouquet. I'm married to the hustle and now I know the life of a showgirl, babe. And I'll never know another pain hidden by the lipstick and lace.
so boring. You know?
The life of a showgirl, babe. Wouldn't have it any other way. Wouldn't have it any other way.
Like, I'm sorry to be so rude about it, but to subject me to an album full of lyrics like that, and then end on a note like this,
Now I'll make my money being pretty and witty.
the nerve,
Thank you for
the gall, the gumption.
bouquet.
Like, where is the triumph? What are we overcoming? That's the feeling I'm getting from the music, like we've overcome some great obstacle. What is that? The fanfare, the applause. Everything's great, everything's good again. The lyrics will shed the final light. Let's try to be generous one last time with this art. Let's see something pleasant and wholesome, meaningful, sincere in these lyrics, surely. Okay, so this song is going for something a little more for the girls, supportive of women who do their thing to make a living. In this case, the imagery of a showgirl being criticized for not being legit in her occupation. Taylor is likening herself to a showgirl in that sense. As one annotation says, women in the spotlight are often undermined or accused of illegitimacy no matter how much they accomplish. A good observation, certainly, and I think that that is the intention of the song. So why then would you undermine your fellow women in the next lyric that says, and all of the headshots on the walls of the dance hall are of the bitchs who wish I'd hurry up and die. But I'm immortal now, baby dolls. I couldn't if I tried. Again, just subtle digs at emails. Am I imagining this? If I'm imagining it, then why is it littered everywhere in every single song? This subtle resentment towards other women seems pretty obvious to me. The worst thing that's ever said about a man in this song is about how her father whored around like all men do. Those meddling men whoring themselves around. Yeah, so, oh geez guys, I am fairly flabbergasted at my response to this album. I think that musically this album deserves some credit for bringing things back to some pop wisdom. Of course, we have Max Martin in the lineup. I think he probably helped out a lot here. I'm glad that Jack Antonoff was sent packing, frankly. I think it has done wonders for her sound. And of course, she is the primary songwriter here. She is the main one to be commended for the quality of the songs, but you can tell that the lack of Jack's presence made a difference here. Her vocals are amazing. She is such a talented singer and poet. She can write words. She's got that insane wordplay. As much as I'm horrified, honestly, by a lot of the lyrics that I've read here, she can technically write. Yes, she can technically write. I'm just being wary of complimenting the lyrics too much. I'm complimenting her ability to write rather than what she's written here, because there are some bad lyrics here which are unlike her, and those bad lyrics, they undermine the music so heavily that it is such a shame. And I'm honestly shocked that she manifested the album the way it was released. Like, this is actually what she stands behind. Lyrically, she finds, even musically, this to be a sufficient evolution or reinvention rather, and she honestly believes that the music reflects the theme of a showgirl enough. she honestly believes that she is doing something profound and meaningful with this particular messaging that is so centered around her new man. This whole album is called The Life of a Showgirl, and it is largely a love letter to her new man, and it is a backhanded condemnation of the lives of everyone else in the world. Not just everyone around her, but everyone else in the world. Maybe that's me being overly dramatic, but that's my impression. I have found myself to be incredibly amused by this album, though. Like, it gave me a lot to talk about. This is Taylor Swift, and she's definitely stirred up some conversation with this album, for better and for worse. Maybe that is the intention. You know, she's got that song cancelled. Maybe she intends to be controversial with these lyrics, but it doesn't make them good. And it doesn't make them satisfying and inspiring to listen to. A huge chunk of this material is so cringeworthy and painful, really ugly in the underlying sentiments in parts. That is just my personal opinion, my personal perspective. If you're on board with the sentiments in these lyrics, then they won't seem nearly as bad as they do to me. I really try to not come across as personally offensive to the artist in my reviews, though I understand that I probably am coming across that way in this particular review, but it's hard not to, because her lyrics are coming from a rather personal place and they are undermining certain people a lot. So if she's going to present the lyrics like this, I have to give my honest personal response, and yeah, I can't get behind them. I will end on a somewhat positive note by saying, musically, this album ain't so bad. There's some bops here, there's some bangers here. She has a great vocal performance. She can definitely write. I just wish that some of that fun, creative spirit that is there purely for the love of music was carried through more than all of this cynicism and, as she says, bitching and moaning that she claims to not be doing so much of anymore, but in fact is prevalent through the whole thing, putting everyone in a bad mood, including me. Alright, let me know what you thought of this album, what you thought of my analysis. If you'd like to watch my previous Taylor Swift content, the Taylor Swift Reactions playlist is down below. If you'd like to watch a more positive response to a Taylor album that I've had, I'd recommend looking at my 1989 Taylor's version reaction. I am on Patreon if you fancy your own reaction requests, early access, and polls. And if you don't know me, my name is Ohakade. I'm the composer for the symphonic metal project Valkata. We recently put out a new song called Overload the Reactor. The link is down below. And despite my heavy criticism of The Life of a Showgirl, I would love to hear your thoughts on my music. And there's also a link below to my full reaction database spreadsheet if you're curious about all of the other music I've covered on the channel. Otherwise, please like, subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Thanks so much and take care.